Welcome everyone, join us today as we pay tribute to George Michael. From his early days with Wham to his solo career that defined an era, George's talent and charisma left an unforgettable mark on the music world. So let's dive in. George Michael, born Georgios Kyriakos Panayiotou on the 25th of June 1963, in East Finchley, Middlesex, in England. He was zodiac sign Cancer. Born in the North London suburb of East Finchley, George was the youngest of three siblings, with two older sisters, Yoda and Melanie. His father, a Greek Cypriot restaurateur, had anglicised his name from Kyriakos Panayiotou to Jack Panos upon immigrating to England in the 1950s. His mother, Leslie Angold, was an English dancer. Michael spent much of his childhood in Kingsbury, London, where his parents settled shortly after his birth. He attended Roe Green Junior School and Kingsbury High School. Michael later shared that his passion for music began after he sustained a head injury around the age of 8. In his early teens, Michael and his family moved to Radlett. Michael began attending Bushy Mead School in Bushy, where he quickly bonded with Andrew Ridgeley, a fellow student who shared his dream of becoming a musician. Michael busked in the London Underground and worked as a local DJ before teaming up with Andrew in 1979 to form a ska band called The Executive. Joined by Andrew's brother Paul, Andrew Lever, Jamie Gould, and David Mortimer, later known as David Austin, the group didn't achieve major success but gave them their first experience in the spotlight. Building on their experience with The Executive, the duo formed Wham in 1981. The name captured the essence of their appeal, energetic, fun, and vibrant, reflecting their dynamic friendship. Michael, known as Yog to friends, adopted the stage name George Michael for broader accessibility. Early Wham demos caught the attention of executives at Innovision, an independent label, leading to a record deal that launched their career. Initially, the duo collaborated on songs like Wham Rap and Club Tropicana. However, during the recording of their debut album Fantastic, they agreed that George's songwriting strengths warranted him taking creative control. Still in their teens, they embraced a hedonistic image, celebrating a carefree, work-free lifestyle. Backed by singers Shirley Holloman, Andrew's ex-girlfriend, and D.C. Lee, later replaced by Helen Pepsi DeMac, after Lee joined group The Style Council. Wham quickly gained traction, and by 1982, they had charted in the UK with hits like Wham Rap and Young Guns, boosted by an impromptu Top of the Pops appearance. Shortly after, they secured an American record deal with Columbia. George and Andrew quickly realized their deal with Innovision was unfavorable. To break free, they forfeited all future royalties from their debut album Fantastic, and signed with Sony Worldwide. The move paid off as their second album, 1984's Make It Big, catapulted them to global stardom. Hits like Wake Me Up Before You Go, Everything She Wants, Careless Whisper, and Freedom dominated charts in the UK, Europe, and the US. Wham became one of the era's biggest acts, and in 1985, they made history as the first Western pop group to tour the People's Republic of China. George's ambition soon outgrew Wham's success, signaled by the release of Careless Whisper under the credit Wham, featuring George Michael, hinting at his solo aspirations. In 1986, after debuting his solo single, A Different Corner, Wham announced their split. They bid farewell to fans with their final single, Edge of Heaven, and a sold-out farewell concert at London's Wembley Stadium. George quickly cemented his place as a solo artist with the release of his debut album, Faith, in 1987. Writing, producing, and arranging the album himself, Michael surpassed Wham's success, delivering a string of major hits like I Want Your Sex, banned on several radio stations, Father Figure, Kissing a Fool, and the iconic title track, Faith. The album sold over 25 million copies worldwide, supported by stylish and provocative music videos, along with an extensive 137-show tour spanning 16 months. Faith solidified George as a pop music icon. Collaborations with legends like Elton John, Wrap It Up, and Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, and Aretha Franklin, I Knew You Were Waiting for Me, further demonstrated his wide-ranging appeal and earned him respect across generations. Feeling constrained by his pop star image, George took a different path with Listen Without Prejudice, Volume 1 in 1990. The album was more introspective, refined, and personal than his earlier work. To shift focus onto the music rather than his image, George chose not to appear in music videos or tour for the album. While it performed well commercially, it didn't match the success of Faith. Frustrated with Sony, George criticized his contract as both financially and creatively restrictive, leading to a prolonged legal battle that concluded in 1995. George parted ways with Sony, signing with DreamWorks Records in the US and Virgin globally. During this period, he released a live EP featuring performances from the 1992 Freddie Mercury tribute concert with Queen. In 1996, George unveiled his third solo album, Older, continuing the contemplative tone of Listen Without Prejudice. Although the album went platinum in the US, it fell short of his prior commercial heights but achieved stronger success in Europe and the UK. On February 26, 1997, George's beloved mother Leslie passed away from cancer at the age of 60, a loss that triggered a period of depression and self-destructive behavior. This included reduced creativity, cigarette smoking, and recreational drug use. In 1998, George released Ladies and Gentlemen, The Best of George Michael, a 2-disc collection featuring solo hits, Wham tracks, and a new song, Outside. The track and its video humorously addressed George's highly publicized arrest that year for a lewd act in a public restroom, an incident that led him to publicly confirm his homosexuality. It also emerged that the song, Jesus to a Child, from his album Older, was a heartfelt tribute to his late partner Anselmo Felipe, who had died of AIDS-related complications in 1993. In 1999, George released Songs from the Last Century, an album of covers, marking his departure from DreamWorks and collaboration with Virgin Records for a global release. In 2002, George signed with Polydor and released the single, Freak, hinting at a new album to follow. However, his next full-length album, Patience, didn't arrive until 2004 and was surprisingly released under the Sony-affiliated Epic label, marking his return to the company he had left 9 years earlier. George declared at his final commercially released album, expressing plans to share future music online with proceeds going to charity. In 2008, he released a second 2-disc collection, 25, followed by the 25 tour, marking his return to North America after 17 years. Over the next several years, George toured extensively, launching the Symphonica Tour in 2011. This orchestral pop performance was captured on an album produced by Phil Ramone. Following Ramone's passing, George completed the project, releasing Symphonica in 2014. The album topped the UK charts and reached number 60 in the US. His final endeavors included a documentary, Freedom, and work on new recordings, but tragically, he passed away before anything was released. Personally, George revealed that his early fantasies were about women, leading him to believe he was heterosexual. However, by puberty, he began fantasizing about men, attributing this shift partly to his environment. At 19, he confided in Andrew Ridgeley and one of his sisters that he was bisexual but was advised not to tell his parents. In 1998, after being publicly outed, George shared on Parkinson that he fully accepted he was gay when he fell in love with a man, resolving his inner conflict over his sexuality. George revealed he stopped sleeping with women during Wham due to emotional conflict and AIDS concerns. He later acknowledged hiding his sexuality to protect his mother and said his depression after Wham stemmed from realizing he was gay, not bisexual. In the late 1980s, Michael dated makeup artist Kathy June, his only bona fide girlfriend who knew of his bisexuality and appeared in his I Want Your Sex video. In 1991, George began a relationship with Brazilian dress designer Anselmo Felipe, who many say was the love of his life. Tragically, Anselmo was diagnosed with HIV 6 months later and passed away in 1993 from an AIDS-related brain hemorrhage. George's single, Jesus to a Child, and his 1996 album, Older, were tributes to him. Reflecting in 2008, George described the period as deeply depressing, compounded by his mother's later passing. In 1996, George began a long-term relationship with Kenny Goss, a former flight attendant and sportswear executive. They shared homes in Dallas, Goring-on-Thames, and Highgate, London. Though they planned a civil partnership in 2005, it was postponed. George later revealed in 2011 that they had ended their relationship 2 years earlier. George's homosexuality became public after his 1998 arrest for lewd conduct, which he later called a subconscious act to reveal his truth. In 2012, he began a relationship with Lebanese-Australian hairstylist Fadi Fawaz, who was with George until his passing. Following his death, numerous charities revealed that George had been a long-time private supporter. He was deeply committed to charity work, supporting causes such as LGBT rights, HIV/AIDS fundraising, and various charitable organizations. He participated in initiatives like Band Aid and donated the royalties from his 1996 hit, Jesus to a Child, to Childline, which founder Dame Esther Ranson revealed amounted to millions. He also supported the Terence Higgins Trust, Macmillan Cancer Support, and privately helped individuals. Notable acts include anonymously funding IVF treatments for women in need and tipping a student nurse £5,000 to help her pay off debt. George's generosity touched many lives, often without public recognition. Tragically, on Christmas Day, December 25, 2016, George Michael passed away at the age of 53, in his bed at his home in Goring-on-Thames. Although he had openly struggled with substance abuse throughout his life, including arrests for intoxication and drug possession, an Oxfordshire coroner concluded in March 2017 that his death was due to natural causes, specifically dilated cardiomyopathy with myocarditis and a fatty liver. He was found by his partner, Fadi Fawaz, who noted that it was also George's mother's birthday. Due to delays in confirming the cause of death, George's funeral took place on March 29, 2017. In a private ceremony, he was buried at Highgate Cemetery in North London, next to his mother, with his sister Melanie, who would pass away 3 years later on Christmas Day also, laid to rest on the other side. And there you have it. Though he left us too soon, his music and spirit live on forever. Thank you for joining us in remembering the life of George Michael. His artistry, generosity, and passion will continue to inspire fans across the globe. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Take care and bye for now.